Yo, what up? What up? What's cracking? So I jump on here real quick for a short time. I was I was thinking, well, should I go on later and just do a longer live, which I still might do. I don't know. I don't know. That's how I come up on here. I was on Cousin's live earlier. Okay, good. And yeah, talking about that movie Colors. Colors, Colors. I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking. Yeah, yeah. Had a little crip top with the homie Sav, but I couldn't stay. I had to get up out of there. So I had something else to do. Lauren, what's going on? What's up? Just came on here real quick. So I here rolled up one, decided to come on here, chop it up with y'all for a second. How you doing? Yeah, so not too much. Not too much. Just man. Oh, something going on, or it's just how you feeling? It's been a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. Oh yeah, and yesterday, yeah. I know we didn't do the dynamite review, um, or the live stream. There's just been so much going on. There's been like one bad news after another, after another, after another. Oh, okay, gotcha. So, but I've been staying in tune, and you know, as a matter of fact, hey Lauren, matter of fact, since you won't be here Saturday, I'm gonna still go ahead and do the stream because I know we missed last week. So yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna still go ahead and do the stream, so you can still tell everybody to come on through, and because either way it goes, I'm not missing CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Not doing it. Not doing it. I seen their epic series in Ring of Honor, plus the storyline to go with it too. Oh, so I'm definitely not missing that. Not doing it. So yeah, it's been a lot going on. I've been catching up on a lot of stuff I ain't been catching up on. I tell you, see when you live in a bubble, you don't see a lot of stuff, or you how can I say it? I said, or you don't allow yourself to look at reality the way you should. And the reason why I say that is because people have this thing where they see different types of people hanging around each other, and in their mind, they think that racism is not, either it doesn't exist no more, which is absolute lunacy, or it's not as what it was. And I was looking at some videos, and it was a channel that I watched, Dr. Richie, Undisputable. And the videos that I watched, just highlights how much racism still has a strong hold on society. Case in point. And I'm throwing the police in there too. So, what was it? It was one story. What was it? Oh, no, as a matter of fact, it was, okay, so I'm always a proponent, if you in somebody else's country, respect, period. You had this dude that was in Cambodia, like, just putting his racism on full display. And I'm just like, but the crazier part about it was the people were just standing around just looking at this motherfucker like, okay, this motherfucker is looking crazy than a motherfucker. What the hell is wrong with him? It was crazy. Or like, matter of fact, it wasn't even all this. I actually seen it on that show Neighborhood Wars about a week or two ago. It was a utility worker. It was a black woman, and you know how the utility workers sometimes have to come on the property to, check the meters and everything, making sure everything is good, right? So she shows up, and she had been there before, so she was, as she said in the video, she didn't think anything of it. They didn't think there was going to be any problems. Then this white woman come out. She, up there in age a little bit. Comes outside and starts telling, "Get off my property. You don't belong here." And then you got these other two neighbors. It was another older woman, I guess you could say elderly woman or whatever, and another older dude come outside talking about, "Get off our land. You don't belong here." The guy proceeded to put his hands on the sister. Huh? Or what I seen earlier, it was this couple that the store had said had shoplifted. And when they was getting on the husband or the boyfriend or whoever, the wife was recording, and one of the cops went over to her and just slammed her ass on the ground. For what? Talking about he was going to punch her in the face and everything. There was another one I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was some security officers in Las Vegas. 2 older white dudes harassing this black woman, talking about, kept calling her sir, kept calling her a man, thinking she was a man, and she's like, no, I'm a woman, and then just started calling her all kinds of N-words. I'm like, you know, at this point, I'm nor phased, I'm nor bothered, I'm just, I'm not even aggravated no more. Yeah, I think the only aggravation I have is people who just idly sit by and just allow this shit to go. It was another white dude that I seen up there in Portland beating on this black dude who's a who was out selling food. He has his own business, and the white dude just walks up to him and starts beating on him and stomping his head and everything. I'm like, calling him all kinds of racial slurs. People just driving by honking their horns and stuff. No, get out the goddamn car. And I just seen that they did get the guy earlier. So, but all he gonna do is just go in there and line up with his brotherhood. So, but he need his ass whooped. But it's just it's just funny how people just, you know, act like this stuff don't exist anymore the way that it did. Now, true enough, yes, it's that we are nowhere in the 60s, 40s, Jim Crows and all that. Hell, even white women can vote. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget about that. Let's not forget about that. And that's the thing. And let me say this. And this is to offend every white woman back in the day that was spewing out all kinds of racism, but your ass couldn't vote either. Hell, your ass was lucky to even come outside at the time. So let me say this to y'all, whether y'all still alive, most of y'all probably dead at this point. But for those that are still alive, I'm just gonna say this. Y'all some dumbass bitches. You talking about us, meanwhile, your dumbass couldn't even vote. And now you got these generational white racist women out here talking all this dumb shit. Like, dumb bitch, sit your ass down. Your ass couldn't even vote either. Your ass, as a matter of fact, your ass couldn't do no more than a black person could do. But y'all out here acting like y'all somebody. Like, what the fuck is y'all, like, sit your racist ass down. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't call me the N-word when your ass had to get on your hands and knees and scrub that floor while you was kissing on your husband's feet, picking the toe jam in between his toes. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Come on now. Let's you know what I'm saying? Like, your husband don't look at you no better than he look at a sister. Like, come sit your dumb ass down and wake up. Out here looking stupid as hell. You know? And that's just to y'all. That's just to y'all. Because that part of things rarely gets addressed. Rarely gets addressed. But y'all know me. I like to bring up the stuff that people don't like to talk about or don't want to talk. And if they do talk about it, it's in passing through a whole other conversation that may be going on, and somebody's just adding that to the conversation as another piece of the conversation. No. Because I've been fortunate and unfortunate enough to have grown up in a predominantly white town at one point, predominantly white neighborhood, you know. Says the blind man, you know. And I seen it. You know, you had the ones that were genuine that actually liked you for who you are, and then you had the other ones that are just kind of like, you know, might act a little bit differently when you come around compared to when you're not around. You know, the looks, the little whispers, and you know, stuff like that. As a matter of fact, to be quite honest, being that the town that I lived in, I have never lived in a black neighborhood. There were black people in the neighborhood, obviously, but it wasn't a solid, just, you know, black neighborhood. So my life has been a diverse life, but of course, primarily, you know, what community I'm in. But I've had people that were, oh, I consider good friends, never seen color, not one time. Just, I mean, obviously, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here like, no, I didn't see color because, you know, it's there, but that wasn't a focal point in our friendship. You know, he liked wrestling, I like wrestling. He was into rock music, I'm into rock music. You know, he was into rap. As a matter of fact, at the time, no, as a matter of fact, he was more into rap than he was into rock. But it was almost something like something was going on because that day that me and him got into it and he called me the N word. It was like he went through a whole transformation, and then the next time I seen him, he was full-fledged rocker, full-fledged rocker. Right? He was he was all white boy out. I was, okay, all right, you know, and at that time, if you was a rocker in my town, you would most likely was a racist because they did not hang out with us. And it wasn't even just like on a high school clique thing. They did not hang out with us at all. You know, every once in a while, you might get those strays that might pop up at a house party or something because they actually like the music that we listen to as well. But for the most part, nah, it wasn't no hanging out with them. You know, um, and I think that was the first time where it wasn't just a direct hit of racism in my face, but somebody of a different race calling me out because of my race off of a disagreement that we had over music. So he felt that in his heart. Now, at the time, I didn't know quite how to handle it because although I was a physical confrontational type person, that word holds a whole nother level of what's the word I'm looking for? Um, a whole nother level of like, damn, like because I'm used to the direct hits from people I don't know, but for somebody that I consider a friend to go out his way today based off of a disagreement that we had over music, that he went out his way to call me that. So that must have really been in your heart for a minute. You was just waiting for the right time to come out and say it. So I didn't do anything. I went home and I was upset. I was mad as hell. And my mom asked me what was wrong, and I told her. And mom, she's not a confrontational person or anything like that. She, you know, all that. So she was telling me everything else, just to not go over there no more and just leave him alone and da 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 da. But keep in mind, I gotta pass by this fool's house every day when I go to school. So I said, okay, look. So in the meantime, we end up moving. So I don't see this fool for a good 2.5 years because we ended up moving. We ended up moving back to the central, and he went to a whole nother junior high. So when I got to high school, I seen him there hanging around all his little rock friends. I said, "Ooh, I'm a whole different person at this point now." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's like my lifestyle is different now. You know what I'm saying? So I had a whole objective. I had a whole objective of going after him, right? And my ass gets in trouble. My ass gets in trouble. Oh, for sure, for sure. I got you. So then that messed my whole thing up because now I'm on probation and shit. And I can't move the way I want to move. I'm getting suspended. I got in-house suspension, all kinds of shit. Right. So I never got the opportunity that I wanted because I think he actually ended up. And what was funny, that next year he ended up going to another high school, and I ain't never seen him again. So I guess the universe or whoever was looking out for him because yeah, because I had, as a matter of fact, I had actually told the homies about dude, and they was all for. So, but I I'm not one they love to hate. You know, I get so much hate. I get hated on for doing nothing. I get hated on for doing nothing. Like I could just be chilling, minding my own business, ain't bothering nobody, and somebody gonna find a reason to want to hate on me. I was like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like the saying goes, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing something right. So I must be doing something right, because I get so hard sometimes. At one time, it was so much, it was a string of hatred that was going on. I was like, damn, where is this shit gonna stop? Just crazy, 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 crazy. You know. And the only thing I've ever done is, I mean, I know where some of the hatred comes from. Um, is the fact that I say things that some people just won't say. You know, I'll address things that some people will not address, or a lot of people won't address, depending on what the subject is. I've always had a big mouth, you know. You know, I speak out against what is not supposed to be.
I hear you. My pop's birthday was yesterday. That's why I'm mad. The 75 in him.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday, pops. You know, yeah, I love church, but oh yeah, you know, ever since I was a kid, elementary school, you know, I knew something was wrong. I knew, you know what I'm saying? And you see the thing about it back then, kids didn't have a voice like they have a voice now. Like kids could get up on here and they can speak, you know, they can speak their truth, and people are gonna gravitate to that. Yo, we're having the flood. People gonna people gonna gravitate to that. So like when I was growing up in the '80s, kids didn't have a voice. It was speak when you're spoken to, you know, and it didn't matter if you was in the right or the wrong. It was whatever the authoritative figure was at the time, and then your parents, or if it was just your parents, and if the situation happened at home, you couldn't express yourself to your parents how you felt about things, because they would just literally just shut the door on you and tell you stay in the kid's place, and you know what I'm saying, go to your room or something. You know, I was that one rare individual that if I know I'm going to take an ass whooping, but I got to say this: you're in the wrong. Period. Period. And I'm not going to keep my mouth closed because you telling me to keep my mouth closed. You know, I'm going to get what I need to get out, especially when it came to school. Yeah, you sure could. You know, it was so much bullshit that went on at school that even when I spoke out on how I felt, and you see, this is the thing that used to piss me off. They would sit there and tell you, well, tell us what's wrong. Why have you been acting out? Or why haven't you got your homework done? Is there something that's bothering you? They will literally ask you these questions. And then when you give them the answer, then they completely dismiss what you said and tell you that what you're feeling is wrong in so many words. So now on the inside, you feeling even more fucked up because now you feel like you shouldn't even said it. You know? But I was gonna speak out on it. Whether they liked it or not, I was gonna speak out. You know. Because that's one thing I wish we did have back then was an avenue to go and speak our voice. You know, yeah, you had like the different programs you go to, but like let's be honest, how many of us actually went to that shit? How many of us actually went there to go speak out? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I always, as long as I've been alive, for the most part, or better yet, every person I've ever come across, and they bring up something that they like to talk about, I encourage them to talk about. You know, especially if it's something that nobody else is discussing, because there's so many things that's on the table that we don't ever talk about or ever think about. That's a vital piece to how we live. We all got a story, but you know what the fucked up thing about that is? Every story ain't gonna get told. That's the fucked up. But I understand that's how life goes. That's how life is. Nothing is going to be exact and nothing is going to be fair. But what you do is you always make sure that as an individual, you extend that so that way the people that you surround yourself with know that no matter what goes on, what the situation is, I can come to you and we can rap about it. So I'm gonna end y'all with that. I'll probably be back up here later on. Don't know yet. We'll see. But until then, y'all have a good night. Enjoy your night. Be safe out there. And have a good one. Peace.